Throughout my childhood, there was always a lot of franchises and series that I've always been a major fan of and really wanted to go back to. I mean, back then I was really excited. I've been really excited to always get the next best installment for each one of these series, like Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet and Clank, Time Splitters, Metal Gear Solid. I'm always like they always kept getting much better over each installment. I always had like just pure excitement to always get ready to get the next one. I usually play through all the previous ones just to get ready for the next big sequel to come out. But throughout recent years, my expectations just been dying off a little bit. It's just clear that the gaming industry just hasn't been as good as it was back then, which I guess is to be expected when you get older. But usually, there hasn't been that many games today that I really been excited to get or really wanted to get. I mean, usually the ones I really want either won't be available for release until like later, way later this year, or hell, even next year. I have to wait for the Phantom Pain to come out next year. So, and I'm definitely not getting Ground Zeroes over its price, but that's another story. But so and like there hasn't always been a lot of games I didn't have that much interest in, which is one of the reasons why I haven't really gotten a new game like for quite a long while. But I still have ways to occupy myself with some of the other series. Series I have in my list of games here, and hell, I even got myself pretty acquainted with some other series I even heard of or haven't even tried out yet, like the Far Cry series or even Grand Theft Auto. And well, I was a pretty big Call of Duty fan when I first got World at War for the 360 when I first got it, but that was before the series became mediocre at best. But there was one series that even to this day I'm a major big fan of, and it was one series that I can always go back to. I can always keep playing it, and I can never get bored out of it. And well, that's the Fallout series. I mean, these games, and holy crap, this case is left open. These games were probably one of my favorite games of all time. I mean, and I think this was also one of the very first RPGs that actually got very interested in. I mean, I think there was a couple of RPGs I played back then that I tried to get into, but I never really gotten much into it. And I think the main difference. No, I think those were JRPGs. These are like traditional RPG games where you create your own character and all that, and well, you pretty much play yourself. You're always going to create yourself whenever you play one of these games. So, I was always a big fan of the Fallout franchise, and it's the only franchise that I know that has more cancelizations and legal issues than any other franchise I know. And I may be wrong about that, but I'm such a big fan of this franchise. I even look back in its history, and I was so lucky to find a pawn shop that had these two games too. I mean, I had to try these games out as well, just to see how the first and second game was before, well, the 3D age came around. So Fallout 3 was the first Fallout game I ever gotten, which from a lot of you guys are probably thinking it's pretty strange why I would get this game first, even though this game is considered by a lot of people to not be canon at all with the rest of the series, which is a little harsh. I mean, if there's one game in this franchise that shouldn't be canon at all, or even be mentioned at all throughout the rest of the series, would be Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. I mean, that was a major kick in the balls to you guys after that game came out. And would you even believe that game was made by Fallout's original creators, Interplay? So try to wrap your head around that. But Fallout 3, it didn't really have that much mentioning to the other games like that much, and I definitely could see it is pretty downplayed compared to its predecessors. But I still kind of like this game a lot, and I think it's a safe choice too, since it doesn't really have that much connection at all with the rest of the series. I guess it's pretty safe to start off with this one out of curiosity's sake. However, I do not believe this is the best game in the series, though. No. That spotlight goes to New Vegas, the true predecessor to the previous games, considered even by the old school fans at least. And I guess the reason why is because it takes place in the West Coast, and well, I guess for some reason a lot of folk believe that Fallout should only take place in the West Coast. I always thought Fallout should just take place in the United States wasteland, at least throughout the United States. I mean, I know there's a couple of people that like Tactics, and that took place in like the Midwest Coast or something. So, and I think it was Chicago, I believe it took place in. So, I don't know. It just depends on how you feel about it. So. But Fallout New Vegas is considered to be the true predecessor because pretty much it had everything that Fallout 3 had. And I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about Van Buren, the canceled game that was supposed to be the true Fallout 3. Yes, Fallout 3, or Van Buren, to say the least, was pretty much the true predecessor to the first and second game. Even though it wasn't going to follow the same protagonist from the first and second game, it was pretty much taking place at the West Coast anyways and following through the familiar formula of the previous games due to its turn-based role-playing style gameplay. Trying to think here. And, well, since this game kind of takes place almost at the exact same location as New Vegas, it's pretty clear that this game could easily be finished and be labeled as a prequel to New Vegas, given the backstory of New Vegas and all that. I mean, this game could pretty much take place during the first battle of Hoover Dam and follow some of the more well-known locations that was mentioned in New Vegas, like New Canaan, for instance. It's a shame, too, really, because I really would have liked to actually try out Van Buren as well. I mean, I do know there is test demos online that you can actually get for this game now. I mean, yeah, the game isn't finished, but at least you can try it out during that time. But if it wasn't for all those cancelizations and all that, and just because of that, it's also one of the main reasons why now that the newer games are all in 3D and not turn-based, which I can easily understand why they kind of went that route, because, well, these two games was released during the 90s, which was kind of during, well, a time where the turn-based style games were kind of dying out in a way. And everyone was always getting more into the whole 3D perspective games where you can actually control your character and move him around without having to click everywhere and stuff. I mean, I know those games are still around a lot today, mainly on MMOs and all that. But for these kind of overhead type turn-based style games, they just haven't been around that much. Well, yeah, Wasteland 2 is pretty much getting a lot of recognition now, so maybe it'll mark a return for it. I'm not entirely sure, but it's just kind of disappointing too. I mean, with a series that has a very interesting take on the whole wasteland, wasteland setting, and with such an expanded universe that can really be explored and to follow through. You'd think there'd been more games than just this, right? But I guess not. I guess you just can't go back and change the past, change the password or something. But let's just hope that Persuaders just takes good care of this series in the future, though. I'm still waiting on Fallout 4, you guys. But aside from all that, I guess I'll finally go talk about the main portion of this episode, and pretty much it involves Fallout New Vegas. Even though this is one of my favorite games of all time, and I've been playing it non-stop 24/7. Okay, maybe not 24/7, not that sad, but this game is also one of the glitchiest, and throughout my long playthrough, I have seen quite a bit, and, well, some game-breaking ones as well. And, well, let's just say that it's kind of expected. You kind of have to expect glitches when Persuada is involved. I mean, you guys seen how Skyrim turned out, right? I mean, that game was a glitch fest. In fact, the first episode I made about this show was mainly involved a glitch in this game. Yeah, you guys remember about that freaking time where the Right One's Yarrow and his merry men tried to kill me no fucking reason? Hell, there was the strangest glitch that occurred in this game, which involved a mammoth, like a mammoth floating up into the air, falling down, getting killed, then replicating itself, like making a duplicate of itself, and then dying again. It's happened twice before. I swear it happened. Hell, I even made 2 videos showcasing some of the crazy nonsense that happened in this game. Kind of like the underwater glitch that involves riding a horse under a lake, or the tens of billions of guards that's in Markarth. I mean, look how many of them there is. I mean, that's unfreaking believable. It's like they all multiplied and all walk in the same place. So with that being said, it's pretty clear that, well, displayed by my case here, that Fallout New Vegas will probably end up having a lot of glitches. And you may argue that, well, this game wasn't developed by Persuada, and, well, you're correct. It was developed by Obsidian. But they still used the same glitchy engine from Fallout 3 for this game. Just a little more upgraded, that's all. But it still doesn't change the fact that the engine in this game is still glitched up. And hell, I will even cover my defense that some of the new features they add for this game doesn't necessarily work too well. And that is the reputation glitch. Now, in case you guys don't know what the reputation system is, this was a system that was first introduced in Fallout 2, where it pretty much was like an addition to the karma system, where like depending on which missions you do, like it just depends on if you get good reputation with a certain faction or bad reputation with a certain faction, which will with a certain faction. And depending on which reputation you have, will pretty much depict who is your enemy and who is not. And well, not. And the fact they brought it back in this game was a pretty cool idea, because pretty much a whole game is pretty much involves getting along with a lot of the factions in the game. And it could have worked if it wasn't for one thing. The disguises. The disguises is probably one of the reasons why this reputation system was so glitched up in the first place. And, well, let's just say it was probably one of the reasons... let's just say that, that this was probably one of the reasons why I ended up getting the reputation reset glitch. Now, what the reputation reset glitch does is it pretty much resets a lot of your faction reputation back to neutral, or what I like to call undiscovered, since it pretty much disappears from your Pip-Boy. Now, I remember this happened to me a long time ago when I was young, but I was too young and stupid to actually see it as a problem back then. But now that I'm got a little more older and I got really far into this game, I finally see it as a major problem and a possible game breaker for this game. So, and it pretty much I started to take notice on this issue when I was planning on doing some work for the NCR. Now, I'm gonna open up my Pip-Boy here, and as you can see here, here's some of my other factions that seem to be all right. But before I had a lot of reputation for the NCR and a lot of other factions that are no longer here anymore. And I wouldn't have much of a major issue with this if it didn't prevent me from doing any more missions with the NCR. Mainly the ones that would require you to have good reputation with them. And it also takes away a lot of the bonuses you get with the NCR if you have good reputation with them. So I was kind of in a standstill. I was pretty pissed and also confused, like the title of this show, as to how or why this happened to me. And well, I don't think not a lot of people really know exactly why this glitch occurs or how it happens or how to fix it. But I think, and I really believe, that I may have finally found out the true reason why it happened. And, well, we're going to have to rewind a little bit. Way back to another mission I was doing that involved me investigating the White Glove Society. When I went over at the Ultralux, I was able to acquire the White Glove Society's faction armor. And this was before I learned that you can actually get reputation with the White Glove Society, and I didn't know this until I actually wore the armor. You see, the main reason why you wear the faction armor is to, well, not just because you want to get its special effects and the fact that it looks cool when you wear it, but you want to use it as a disguise. And like, say if you had like bad blood with a specific faction, you can wear their faction armor as a disguise to prevent them from chasing you down and pretty much beating you to a bloody pulp. The only bad part about that is that if you're near any other factions that don't like that, that are enemies with the other faction, they'll try to kill you if you're wearing their armor as a disguise. So that could have been a pretty interesting system, you know, to always be careful on which kind of clothing you wear. But it would have been good if it wasn't so glitchy. Now how this system works is when you wear a specific faction armor, your reputation resets because none of the other factions will know who you are when you're in disguise. It's pretty clear. And when you take the faction armor off, it's supposed to bring all your reputation levels back to normal and stuff. Well, that didn't happen when I took off this armor, and I couldn't figure out why. I mean, usually it does whenever I wear other faction armor and take it off. I mean, it seems to go back to normal and stuff. But for some reason, when I wore the white glove clothing, it just didn't work. It started the glitch, and I couldn't really figure out why. And when I finally figured out it was a problem, I started to think a little bit more, and I think I may have finally found out the answer to it. Now, I don't know if this is truly the main reason why. I may have to do a little example to see if my theory is correct, but to my understanding, I think the reason why the glitch occurred is because I didn't have any reputation with the White Glove Society yet. Now, stay with me for this. Before I wore the armor, I didn't have any reputation with the White Glove Society yet. I didn't really necessarily discover them. They weren't listed on my Pip-Boy before. So I think what happened was when I wore the armor, it kind of caused a glitch where it pretty much reset all of my other factions' reputation, and pretty much a glitch occurs. I don't know why it happens, but apparently it's a glitch apparently it just causes the glitch. I just don't know why. Maybe if I get a reputation with the White Glove Society, then wear the armor, maybe it won't happen. I'm just not entirely sure. Okay, now just to further prove my point, I just did a little experiment with the whole reputation glitch and all that, and, well, I've kind of discovered even more strange stuff that makes this glitch even more confusing than before. I mean, this just takes it to a whole new level. So before we start, I just want to show off all the factions I have listed here. Here's all the factions and all their respected reputation levels here. This is pretty much all the progress I did so far. As you can see here, the NCR is clearly listed on the list of reputation here. Here is its reputation level light. So I'm going to wear one of the NCR faction armor. Now, when you wear it, you can see it says I'm dressed as a member of the NCR, and it resets all my reputation because I'm disguised. So when I take it off, you can see that everything goes back to what it was previously, and all the reputation levels are still the same from before. Now, just notice here, notice this, people. I do not have the White Glove Society listed on here. You can clearly see here. They should be listed on the very bottom because everything's in alphabetical order. Now, I'm going to be wearing the White Glove Society attire here. Now, when I wear it, you'll notice that it doesn't say that I'm a member of the White Glove Society yet. And if you also notice, my reputation has been changed. It's kind of strange. When I take it off, it tells me I no longer dress as a member. As you can see, all my factions now. The strange thing is that now some of my reputation levels had changed. The NCR is now idolized. I'm a soft-hearted devil with the power gangers. It pretty much changed the level of my reputation with each faction. It didn't reset it this time. I don't know why it didn't this time, but this only makes this even more confusing. But now let's wear this faction armor with both the mask and the attire. And now it tells me I'm dressed as a member. But still... Oh, and now it resets perfectly fine. Didn't do this before. So now let's take this off. No longer dressed. And once again, it comes back, but the reputation levels are messed up again. I'm just going to do this one more time. This is very weird. I've never seen this happen before. Now let's just wear it in a different order. Let's wear this first and wear the mask second. See, the reputation does what it normally does. Now let's take it off. Reputation's back, but once again the reputation's all different now. Now I'm a wild child with the power gangers. I found a whole new way to change up my reputation with each faction. However, I still seem to be idolized with everyone else though. Let's do this once more time. And then let's take it off this time, like this way. See what happens. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't reset this time. Not entirely sure why, but it's definitely a strange glitch here. Also, you may notice that all these other factions seem to be alright though. The main reason is that these factions don't necessarily have their own faction armor. I mean, they do, but you can't wear it as a disguise or for some reason. They just, I guess the programmers then decided to give them different faction armor, which is a good thing too, since the boomers are very important to the storyline in this game. So let's go take this off one more time. So yeah, a very, very strange glitch here. So yeah, what a mystery. So I think I made my case pretty clear. So so to any of you guys planning on playing this game, whatever you do not wear any faction armor until you at least get reputation with that faction first. And if you end up getting the reputation glitch anyways, then what can I tell you? This game is a big mess of faulty programming. But you know, despite the fact that this game is glitchy as hell, it's still a fun game. And well, besides, the fun just doesn't end there. I mean, there's plenty of other glitches in this game as well. I mean, one time, one of my save files actually corrupted. I had to start the whole game all over again. I mean, it's one of the main reasons why I have so many save slots. I had to keep making room for them. And I had to save so many times, too, because the game can freeze at any moment. There's times where the dialogue messes up, where like when you talk to a character, they won't speak their dialogue until you press the action button and have to continue the rest of it. There's times where you can get stuck if you try to climb up one of the mountains or something, or if you get stuck at some ground or something. There's times where the textures messes up, and that happens plenty of times too. I think it happens in Fallout 3 as well. I've seen it plenty of times too. I mean, there's just all kinds of glitches too. There's bugs that occur on certain missions if you kind of do some strange combination with your companions or something. And who knows? You may even discover something you may even discover a glitch or a bug completely new if you fool around this game long enough, like I have. But I just wanted to cover the reputation glitch for this game, mainly because this is a glitch that has happened to plenty of other people before. I think it may have happened to my brother at one time. And no one really has the answer as to why it happens, and well, maybe I don't either. I mean, I got pretty close to figuring out why, and when I did the experiment, it did some new results that never happened to me before. I mean, when I first wore it and took it off, it reset my reputation, but for this time it changed my reputation levels. It was just mind-boggling. Maybe it's because I was in a different location. I mean, I know that seems to happen a lot. There's times where when I'm loading, sometimes the game loads forever. Like, it just does not finish loading right. It just doesn't load right, and that pretty much happens depending on the last location you save that. I mean, this whole game is just a big bundled mess. But for some reason, I just keep going back to it despite it. I just have to be very cautious and stuff. You just gotta be very cautious with this game because kind of like when you're driving like a beat down car or something, you gotta be very cautious when you ride it. And well, you can't get rid of it. You have it. You own the damn thing, so you might as well take care of the damn thing. So, but yeah, let's just hope that Fallout 4 isn't as glitched up as this game is. But sometimes I just highly doubt it. I mean, we haven't gotten any word for Fallout 4 in a while, so I mean, come on, Bethesda, we've been waiting long enough. I mean, I've been playing these games for quite a long time. I need something new now. At least get me excited again, like in the old days. So come on, give us some Fallout 4 information, please.